up? My name is Justin Johnson. I'm the CEO of Just in Time Fitness and Sports Training and the creator of the FITPRO BIZ Academy. And this is how I got my start in the fitness industry. Now, around the age of 10 or 11, I really started to become obsessed with the game of basketball. From the time that I got home from school until the street lights came on or my parents told me it was time to come in and eat or do homework or take a shower, I was literally outside working on my game. Some instances, I would actually come in the house and jump on a treadmill. And again, this is like, 10, 11 years old. By the time I was 12 and 13, I had already had a routine. My parents were looking for different coaches to work out with me. Shout out to Travis Rachel, one of my first trainers, one of the first guys that really got me in the gym and made me start taking the game serious, and also Terrell McIntyre. Now, if you're from Fayetteville or, if you're familiar with the ACC, then you know T-Mac. My mother worked with his mother, and during his summertime, he would come back to Fayetteville. I would drive up to Hoke High, and we would work out. And literally, there's no question about it, working out with T-Mac really changed my game. So I really started to pay attention to the aspect of working out with a purpose, training with a professional, or at least somebody that knows more about whatever sport you're playing than you do. And that really took my game to the next level. Now, after the summer of working out with Travis Rachel and Terrell McIntyre, my game had elevated to another level. My national rankings were moving up, and I started to receive a lot of Division I letters, scholarship offers. So, of course, it was obvious that the training, had paid off, and taking a lot of time, to work with somebody with that experience, or just simply somebody that had done what I wanted to do. And I think that was the key factor. Travis Rachel had played Division I basketball. Terrell McIntyre was an ACC All-American. So having those guys behind me and train me and just kind of watching the work ethic and how they trained, that helped me a lot, So again, that propelled me into a phenomenal season. I ended up being awarded Player of the Year, and I got a scholarship to the University of Mississippi. So, of course, like I said, as a young kid, I'm analyzing the whole journey. And I'm noticing that the more that I work with trainers and put in extra work, my game it elevates, it goes to the next level. And I mean, that's all I wanted. And that's all any athlete ever wants. So now I've received my scholarship at the University of Mississippi playing basketball. And now I have to take my game to another level. And so I started to think back to, my process of becoming an All-American and just the work that's needed to play at a high level. And it took me a while, but by my sophomore going into my junior year, around that time, I really started to pick it up at school, started to get a little more playing time, and started to put in the extra work that I put in high school, to make my college career somewhat similar, right? So after this whole process, I graduate college, and I start working with another trainer by the name of Scotty Mason. Now, Scotty, he's the guy that put it in my head that as much as I wanted to work on my game and how I love being in the gym, that I would make a good trainer. And so, of course, playing basketball, you're not thinking about what's going to happen next. So, but that kind of stuck with me, And then I started to think about like all the other trainers I've had and how important they were to my development. And so I was like, okay, well, after I'm finished playing basketball, that most definitely will be a viable profession to start training. Long story short, I go overseas. I play professionally for 7 years, and it's time. It's time to make that decision and make that call of what you're going to do next. You know what I mean? And I think that at first I looked at training as a stepping stone until I could figure out what I truly wanted to do, not expecting it to become a passion or, for me to love it as much as I did at all. I can be completely honest, I wasn't expecting that one bit. But I knew that I loved training. I knew that it would be something that could keep my attention for the time being until I figured out, the ultimate goal. So I moved to California. I finished my basketball season out there, and that's when I kick off the training journey. I started working at a gym that's called Bay Club currently. At the time, it was called Spectrum. And you know, the education that the gym provided really started to give me the skills to be a good trainer. Now, I had a lot of practical experience being an athlete, and I can identify certain things from the athletic standpoint, but they were giving me the book smarts and the education to go with that. So I feel like my development as a trainer, it shot through the roof with the education that they provided. And I advise anybody, you know, always, no matter what profession you're in, always look to educate yourself to become better at it. Bottom line, you know, that's a must. And so, you know, just different things I started to kind of put together and what I call natural progression, right? I had basketball experience, I worked with trainers, I became a trainer. So it was something that I caught on to quite fast. The more I educated myself, the better I became as a trainer.